Right now, multiple people are dead after a shooting in Kenosha late last night. This is News 3 Now at noon. We start this afternoon with the latest out of Kenosha. 3 people are dead and 2 people in critical condition following a shooting there. It happened at a house on the city's east side late last night. Police say the incident is isolated and there is no threat to the public. It's unclear what happened or what the motive is. Police are not looking for a suspect, but haven't said if the shooter was in custody or among the dead. Still a lot of unanswered questions to this story, and we'll share the latest information from police through our mobile app. It's free to download wherever you get your apps. Let's head to the Weather Center now. Julian Seawright has a look at your certified most accurate forecast. A little rain moving through.
That's right. We had some rain showers move through Dane County and some remnants of it into the northern areas we can see on our radar over the past hour. But just over to the west near Lone Rock, and just about outside of it, we do have a bit of a spot of some isolated heavier rainfall as of right now, but still just some on and off showers. But as we can see outside of our sky cam, we are looking for that variable cloudiness to be developing for us as we're approaching our afternoon, and we're going to continue to start to see those developing showers move on and off throughout the rest of our day. Right now it's 61 degrees here in Madison, definitely at the moisture as well, but clouds are definitely sticking around for us in our forecast. Temperatures as of right now in southern Wisconsin, we're seeing those 60s around, starting to roam in to our forecast. But as we head into the afternoon, our takeaways, we're going to be looking at variable cloudiness, and those on and off showers will be sticking around. We're going to give more of a timing on that in a few moments here, Mark, but until then, we'll get back to you.
Keep the umbrella handy, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, Julian, thank you. Breaking news this morning, the Sarasota County Medical Examiner in Florida has responded to the nature reserve in Florida where Brian Laundrie's parents just found belongings that they believe belong to Brian. No other details were immediately available. We'll keep you updated online all day long at channel3000.com and this afternoon on Live at 4. No one injured after shots were fired early this morning in Fitchburg. A Fitchburg police officer says they heard several gunshots near Fish Hatchery Road and Greenway Cross. Police found several shell casings in the area, but no damage to any vehicles or buildings. Officers say a silver sedan was seen leaving the area right after the shots were fired. Anyone with information asked to call the Fitchburg Police Department, the number 270-4300. New at noon, the person accused of shooting and killing 17 people at a Parkland, Florida high school has pled guilty. Nicholas Cruz entered his plea this morning after answering several questions, a circuit court judge confirming his mental competency. Cruz is charged with 17 counts of first-degree murder and 17 counts of attempted first-degree murder for those wounded in the shooting on Valentine's Day in 2018. A penalty trial will determine if the 23-year-old will receive a sentence of death or life in prison. The FDA meets next week to discuss authorizing the Pfizer vaccine for children ages 5 to 11, and the CDC meets the following week. But the Biden administration says it's taking steps now to be ready to give shots to kids if and when that authorization happens. The plan is to give the vaccines in kid-friendly spaces, including more than 25,000 pediatric and primary care provider sites, as well as hospitals, pharmacies, and schools. And the administration is planning an educational campaign to ease any concerns parents may have.
We will work with schools to send letters home to parents. We will convene doctors and health clinics and support them in delivering vaccinations as soon as they have conversations with families.
For adults, the FDA could authorize the mix and match of different COVID vaccine booster shots as early as today. The White House COVID response team says more than 2 out of 3 eligible Americans are now fully vaccinated, but there are still holdouts, and some of the unvaccinated are willing to lose their jobs. Britain's Queen Elizabeth has canceled a trip to Northern Ireland after doctors suggested the 95-year-old monarch should stay home and rest. Queen Elizabeth was all smiles meeting business leaders and politicians at Windsor Castle yesterday, but a day later, the monarch has been grounded on doctor's orders.
So I think there's been a balance to be struck at the moment between what the Queen wants to do, which is a lot, and what her doctors around her feel someone for her age should be doing.
In a statement, the palace said the Queen reluctantly agreed to stay put and will rest for the next few days. A royal source tells CBS News there is no cause for alarm, it's not COVID-related, and that the Queen is in good spirits. The state Senate will vote today on a package of bills designed to discourage abortion. One of the proposals would prohibit abortion providers from participating in Medicaid except in cases of sexual assault or incest. The second would require doctors to tell women seeking abortions through a drug regimen that she could still change her mind after the first dose. A third bill would require doctors to ensure parents of unborn children with congenital conditions to receive information about the condition. Finally, a fourth bill would prohibit abortions based on an unborn child's sex or race. Governor Evers would likely veto most or all of those bills. Another car robbery in Madison, this time downtown. Police say it happened near the intersection of West Washington Avenue and North Bedford Street around 10 o'clock last night. A 30-year-old woman was walking to her vehicle when a man walked up to her and demanded her car keys and purse. She tried to get away, but the man hit her in the face. He was able to get away with the keys and purse, and then she drove off in her SUV. Anyone who might be able to help police find a suspect should call the Madison Police Department. An amazing story of survival and new questions about dramatic plane crash in Texas. The MD-87 passenger jet had 21 people on board when it caught fire outside Houston. Somehow, every one of them survived, most without even a scratch. Janet Shamlin reports.
A large commuter jet engulfed in flames, thick black smoke pouring into the sky.
They were taking off from the airport when they crashed.
First responders raced to the scene expecting the very worst. That's not what they found.
They were very, very stunned, but they did all self-extricate.
With just 2 minor injuries, all 18 passengers and 3 crew members were already off the plane and safe. A person on board who asked us to alter their voice described how it unfolded.
Going down the runway, and all of a sudden they slammed on the brakes. Things were flying around, and when it finally came to a stop, they just told us to get out, and we unbuckled ourselves, ran, because we thought it was going to explode. It was already on fire before we got out of it.
These are the passengers after leaving the plane, baseball fans. Headed to last night's Astros-Red Sox playoff game in Boston, when authorities say it rolled off the runway, through a fence, and across a road. A number of factors could have led to the crash, says former NTSB chairman Robert Sumwalt.
It could be that there was a warning light that came on in the cockpit right as the crew was preparing to take off, and they decided or elected to reject the takeoff. It could be a mechanical condition that would have prevented the aircraft from actually lifting off.
The plane was large enough to have exit slides, which were deployed.
We absolutely positively got the best outcome we could hope for on this incident.
The NTSB will be looking for the flight data recorder today, and they'll have an opportunity they often don't have in accidents like this. They can interview the surviving passengers and crew. Janet Shamlian, CBS News, Waller, Texas.
We'll take a look at this video out of Hawaii, this volcano footage. Kilauea volcano is the state's youngest and most active, but it's been quiet for about a year now, up until 3 weeks ago, that is. The U.S. Geological Survey is monitoring it, and it says gas emissions and seismic activity are elevated, but that doesn't mean there's a threat. The volcano is on the Big Island of Hawaii and is in the middle of Volcanoes National Park. Well, there's more to come on News 3 Now at noon.
A softening stance at Southwest Airlines and Bluetooth approved. A toy aisle classic makes a high-tech comeback. I'm Diane King Hall at the New York Stock Exchange. Of those stories and more in your CBS Money Watch report.
You're watching News 3 Now at noon. Winner of the National Edward R. Murrow Award for overall excellence in television.
Precision engineering. Rigorous attention to detail. A Bryant Evolution heating system is so well designed, it's as much of a joy to install as it is to use.
Good to go.
Bryant. Whatever it takes.
In Madison, contact Heating and Cooling Incorporated to maximize your comfort and energy savings whatever the season.
This is Connie Ryan of Ryan Funeral Homes. While things have changed, it's still necessary for families to stay connected. And when it comes to the loss of a loved one, it's important to process and grieve and honor your loved one in a way that keeps everyone safe. We're doing this through intimate services and private virtual streaming so your family can be part of the service no matter where they are. Ryan Funeral Homes are here with your safety in mind and compassionate care in your time of need.
Express is the only place where you can count on same-day service. Thanks to our local labs, shop our huge selection and get quality glasses at a price you'll love. And see better today. Right glasses, right price, right now.
You know your gutters are full of gunk, and you know you need to deal with it eventually. With LeafGuard, you can give up cleaning your gutters forever. Hi, I'm Andrew Larson, owner of Larson Home Services. My team would love to show you how LeafGuard's patented design channels rainwater into your gutters while leaves, seeds, and other debris just roll off, leaving them clog-free, guaranteed.
We looked at several different types of gutters, and we knew that we had problems with leaves. We have lots of trees around our house, and I'm the one who goes and cleans out the gutters, and I wanted to eliminate that hassle in the fall of cleaning the gutters, and LeafGuard has done a wonderful job.
Love to hear that. Right now, your LeafGuard brand gutter system comes with some great money-saving extras. Order now and get free installation labor, free financing for 12 months, and call before this program is over and get a $100 Visa gift card with your new LeafGuard gutter system. Don't wait. Call now to schedule your free estimate.
When the leaves start to fall and the nights get cooler, you know it's sofa season. Steinhafels has a sofa to fit every style and budget. A sofa for the big game, a sofa for catching up, a sofa for cuddling. During Steinhafels' Falling Prices sale, every sofa, every bedroom, every dining room, and more, it's all on sale. Steinhafels has the largest selection of in-stock furniture and all the best brands of mattresses. It's the Falling Prices sale, only at Steinhafels and Steinhafels.com.
Rebound in travel boosted United Airlines. The air carrier says profit totaled $473 million in its third quarter, which was better than expected. United was also helped by some ongoing bailout money from the government. Travel is still not back to pre-pandemic volume, but the company says next quarter it will come closer to 2019 levels. Southwest Airlines is dropping a plan to put some unvaccinated employees on unpaid leave. The airline set a deadline requiring workers to get their shots by November 24th unless they have a religious or medical exemption. Air carriers need employees vaccinated to comply with a Biden administration order for federal contractors. Can you hear me now? Verizon is out with its quarterly report card and a profit of $6.6 billion. That was better than expected. It was helped by an increase in broadband subscribers, while it did lose some pay TV customers. And what's old is new again. Fisher-Price is reviving its toy rotary phone, but this time it's a working device. The real-life rotary takes calls by connecting to your smartphone via Bluetooth and doubles as a speakerphone. The nostalgic nod is available for pre-order at Best Buy for $60. And that's your CBS Money Watch report. For more, head to cbsmoneywatch.com. At the New York Stock Exchange, I'm Diane King Hall.
Thank you, Diane. At the noon hour, let's check Wall Street. The Dow Industrials up 196 points. The NASDAQ up 6.5. And the S&P 500 is up 19. Adobe Analytics predicts Americans will spend more than $200 billion online during the holidays. Much of that money will be spent on toys. What's old is new again on the list, like the Pokemon trading card game, Celebration's Elite Trainer Box, and Tamagotchi's Pix, a more technologically advanced form of the trend made popular in the 90s. But this holiday season, supply issues could bring coal to kids' stockings instead of the toys they want.
We've never seen anything like it. On one hand, the toy industry is doing so well. On the other hand, there's going to be big challenges for the holiday season.
Experts say if you see a toy on the shelf that tops a child's wish list, grab it. The next time you shop, it might be gone with no more shipments on the way. One reason that toy supply has decreased this year is international shipping costs. Last year, it cost about $2,500 to get space in a container, but this year that spiked to at least $26,000. There's more rain and cool down on the way. Julian will have a look at your first warned forecast after the break.
Do you suffer with pain, numbness, and tingling in the hands or feet, commonly diagnosed as peripheral neuropathy? Are you taking drugs such as Lyrica or gabapentin that have serious side effects and often do not relieve your symptoms? Your doctor has told you you may just have to live with the pain. Peripheral neuropathy is a result of damage to the nerves, often causing burning, weakness, pain, numbness, tingling, and the most debilitating balance problems. Our facility uses multiple therapeutic methods to help give you relief from neuropathy symptoms with no injections and no drugs. You may start seeing relief after only a few sessions. To determine if your neuropathy symptoms can be relieved, we will do a consultation to evaluate the extent of your condition. Call us today to schedule your neuropathy consultation to find out if you're a candidate for our therapy. Call today.
You protected our rights, preserved our freedom. You may have even risked your life for us. Now, it's our turn to fight for you. Your local Wisconsin emergency, energy, and housing assistance providers and the Keep Wisconsin Warm Cool Fund reward the service of our veterans with rental and energy support in their time of crisis. Apply today to get the fresh start you've earned.
I have worked at Huffcore for the last 36 years.
Huffcore closing the plant, moving production to Mexico.
I gave my life and my body to that place. Ron Johnson pushed through a tax law that rewards outsourcing. Companies can bring profits back from Mexico tax-free. And worse, Ron Johnson profited personally from outsourcing. He has doubled his wealth since taking office. Tell Ron Johnson to stop putting his profits above our jobs.
Hi, folks. Tomorrow morning, we're watching out for little ghosts and goblins. In our Time for Kids segment, we'll share tips to keep your trick-or-treaters healthy and safe.
And we're tracking that first frost of the season. We'll have the forecast from 4:30 to 7.
She gets paid in love from all of the kids and staff that she sees every day.
A friend to make the going easier for patients and families. See how Kiko is making a big impact at American Family Children's Hospital Thursday on News 3 Now at 6.
The Farm Report is sponsored by Blain's Farm and Fleet.
Well, over the last 90 years, the U.S. has gone from having 3.5 million individual dairy farms to just 35,000. No one has experienced that change more than Wisconsin. Now, smaller family farms are struggling to get their milk to market when they don't have their own processor. Larger processors get to pick who they'll support, which has smaller farmers struggling to find ways to get their milk sold.
It's a question about whether they really want to pick up farms that are smaller and maybe more costly to access. So that's what we are seeing in a number of farms.
One farmer in Outagamie County says he can't find a processor willing to take the milk from his 25 cows. Let's check in now with Pam Yankee from the Midwest Farm Report. That's a big problem in this dairy state.
Well, and it's so different than when I was a kid. When I was a kid, there were milk processors that were competing against one another to pick up your milk. That is definitely changed today. The good news and what we're looking forward to here in Wisconsin is the investment that you heard from dairy companies like Agripur about 10 days ago, building a major milk processing facility in the Little Chute area that is going to increase their need for milk and obviously open up more opportunities and hopefully bring some of that competitiveness back to our milk processing side of things. But again, like I said, it's different than when I was a kid for sure. Well, today the farmers are doing as much as they can in between the raindrops that have already showed up on color radar. Dr. Joe Lauer, University Extension corn specialist, talked to me yesterday. He was in Arlington trying to wrap up some of his yield trial harvest. He's just like any other farmer, wants to get it done before the weather turns against it. He said that this year's harvest has actually gone very smoothly and yields are impressive, especially if you stop and think about some of the early challenges that we were faced with. We did get started planting early. He said that was one of the key notes for an ideal growing season. In June, we had a mini drought, but he said that turned out to be beneficial for corn because it forced that plant to drive its roots deeper in the soil looking for moisture. That helps it to hold strong now that it's waiting to be harvested. So he said, all in all, when you look at it, it turned out to be a pretty good growing season for our Wisconsin corn. One thing that he's advising farmers, though, looking ahead to 2022, you know your input costs are going to be very, very expensive compared to this year. Fuel prices prices have already surged. Fertilizer prices will be higher, and getting a hold of some of those other inputs is going to be tough. One suggestion that Dr. Lauer is bringing, think about no-till. He said they've done dozens of research models across the state of Wisconsin that show if you're doing a healthy corn, soybean, alfalfa type rotation, there's really no need for tillage. He said if you're following soybeans, you really don't have to work that soil. And if you do a no-till approach to farming, that you might improve your water holding capacity on your soil. So he said he knows it's kind of a difficult concept for a lot of farmers to accept, but he said the research is there that shows you really don't need to do all that soil disturbing when it comes to fall tillage. Yesterday, Wisconsin Governor Tony Evers also released some funding for our Wisconsin meat processors. Not nearly as much as he had initially wanted. The governor had planned for $1 million in the biennial budget to possibly go towards our Wisconsin meat processors, modernizing and expanding their facilities. Well, that got ratcheted down by the state legislature to just $200,000. Department of Ag, Trade, and Consumer Protection will be rolling out that grant program sometime in the next few weeks. Barrel and block cheese both unchanged today in Chicago, but the AA butter gained 2 3/4 cents to $1.80 per pound. And now all eyes on what's coming our way with the raindrops that were already sprinkling on my head, Mark, when I came back into the building.
Absolutely. All right, Pam. Thank you. Here's Julian with those raindrop reports.
Yeah, that's right. We do have some of those reports over the past 2 hours of that rainfall. Just some quick showers that have moved through and started to move their way to eastern out of Dane County. But just into the west, a bit into the northwestern side, we did have some pop-up isolated thunderstorms that were with it. But really, as of right now, we're just not dealing with a whole organized system and a lot of that rain. But if we take a look over into our friends in the Minnesota area, well, we could see that system still holding pretty strong. So that's going to be moving its way into northern Wisconsin. So mainly the northern areas are going to be looking at more rainfall than the southern areas. But we're still going to be seeing some, just not nearly as much. As we can see, this mid-latitude cyclone itself, that cyclonic flow that we're seeing is counterclockwise. It's going to continue to push its way into more of the northern areas, really impacting the northern Wisconsin areas for us. Not as much as the southern, but we are still going to be seeing some rain showers, just not a whole lot of organization with it. Now, as we're planning out the timing for the rest of this afternoon and what we can be seeing for showers, as we get into the early afternoons, not going to be looking at a lot of it. May see some pop-up, very isolated showers, but it's looking to clear out and dry out. And as we get into around dinner time, that's when we're looking for a little bit more of some more pop-up showers for us, starting to lead in, especially into the later part of this evening. As we get into the late part, going into tonight, we can see a bit more showers are going to start to pop up. But as you can see, into the far northern areas, that's where we're looking for more of that organization and more of that rainfall for us. But we're still going to be seeing some rain, just not a lot of it, and it's not going to be very long or continuous. Very pop-up, very shower-like, and that's about it. As we get into our Thursday morning, still looking for some early showers, but then it's looking to dry out for us as we get into the rest of our Thursday. So that's why we could see for southern Wisconsin, we're not going to be looking at much in terms of how much precipitation we're going to be looking for falling. Into the northern areas where it's going to be more concentrated and organized, that's where we're going to be seeing more of the rain. So yes, keep the rain gear nearby, but we're not looking for a washout by any means for us. So a few things we're going to need to know now that we're in the middle part of the week is that we're looking for our rain chances to be a bit delayed, but it's still going to just be pop up on and off throughout the day. Chilly conditions, however, as we're going from here on out, we're looking at a lot more fall-like, and as we're going to go in our cold front, well, we're looking at our first frost potential, especially as we head into our Thursday overnight hours into Friday as well. So as we're planning out the rest of the day, the cloud cover is going to be variable throughout the day for us. Still looking to climb into about those lower 70s for us, but the rain chances are going to be drying out until we get into about Sunday and transitioning into next week as we head into Monday. So as we take a look for the next few days, we are looking for on and off rain chances early going into our Thursday, but then we're looking to dry out, but we're going to get cool and it's going to be cold at nights, knocking on the door of freezing, especially for Friday and Saturday, and even for Sunday. As we go into next week, we're looking still much more seasonable, much more fall-like, and then we're going to still hold on to those temperatures to be on the cooler side. So we are looking for good news of having more cooler temperatures, but not a whole lot of rain, at least not in our forecast as of right now. Just going to be more of the dry side, but it's finally feeling like fall, Mark.
Pretty chilly overnight, that's for sure.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Might have to turn the furnace on. Who knows? Thank you, Julian. There's more to come on News 3 Now at noon. Up next, we'll see what Howard's working on in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen.
You know, some of the best recipes are ones that bring back memories. So join me as I take you back to a country store favorite of mine when I was just a kid.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Hello, I'm Roman Ryan of Ryan Funeral Homes. As a locally owned and operated funeral home, it's important to know that not all funeral homes are the same. Some other Madison area funeral homes are actually owned by corporations based outside of the United States. A corporately owned funeral home is focused on the bottom line, making services more costly. We have served local families for more than 80 years, and our priority is investing in the community and your family. In your time of need, Ryan Funeral Homes are here for you.
These days, we're spending more time than ever before at home, where we're continually inspired to make it our own, where the perfect wall mounting can lift your spirits, and that once hidden path to your door is now illuminated with intrigue to lead you inside. With Patriot Lighting, your lighting is another way to put your personal style on display. Smart, sophisticated, radiant, just like you. We have hundreds of options to make your home and your world shine a little brighter. Find your style with Patriot Lighting, only at Menards.
Important healthcare announcement. If people tell you your TV is too loud, or if listening in some environments has become difficult, we are requesting your participation in a special program called the 30-Day Challenge. Hearing Life Hearing Centers are seeking people with hearing difficulties to evaluate a new digital mini hearing aid now being released. To take part in this event, you must call. Please get a pencil and write down the number below. All people with hearing aids or hearing difficulties are wanted to take part in the 30-Day Challenge, evaluating a new high-tech device that sits discreetly behind your ear. This hearing aid is Bluetooth enabled and is rechargeable. All hearing assessments are performed at no charge for those taking part in the challenge. Participants will try these hearing aids for 30 days. Call the number below and take the Hearing Life 30-Day Challenge.
What is all this?
We call them options.
Options? Don't make me laugh.
Unbeatable selection without the drama. 2 pair plus a free eye exam as low as $59.95.
When I was a kid, I remember my dad taking us to this little country store. If we were good, he'd let us pick out 25 cents worth of penny candy. And when I say penny candy, I actually mean that every piece of candy was 1 penny. After filling up our bags, we headed over to the cash register. Next to it was a tray of homemade Hermit bars, and he'd always buy me one so I could eat it on my way home. So here's my take on it. We start by creaming together some butter and brown sugar. Once it's light and fluffy, we add in some eggs. Now we lower the speed and add in water, baking soda, and a few spices. Then we gradually add in some flour and mix it well. And what makes a Hermit bar are all the raisins, dried cranberries, and chocolate chips that it's studded with. After it bakes and cools for a bit, we'll cut it into bars. These are perfect for fall, since the cinnamon and nutmeg give them such a cozy taste. Plus, they're very moist, just like I remember. To get the recipe for our country store Hermit bars, all you have to do is visit our website. Just 1 bite, and you'll know why I love them so much. I'm Howard with Kelly in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, where today we found a memorable way for you to say, ooh, it's so good.
Now I'm hungry. Doing one final check of the forecast.
Well, good thing it's lunchtime, Mark, but we are going to be looking at our temperatures to really be on the cooler side. More fall is on the way, folks.
All right, thanks for watching. We'll see you back here at 4 o'clock. Have a great afternoon.